Come on, off the road. Hey, welcome. Just getting started here. In case you haven't been on the channel, this is ICNIC. He's one of 5 working educational ambassador wolves at our nonprofit. I am Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, what's up? Voice behind the camera. And I regularly take our animals out for extra habitat excursions. And so ICNIC's name means meteor or fireball in Inuktitut. 6 years old, so he's fully grown. He's about 140 pounds. A very powerful animal. He's big for a wolf. For those of you that are wondering, most males are in the 105 to 115 pound range. But he's from a family that has large wolves, and also having a perfect diet every day of his life has helped for sure. He's by no means fat. He's actually perfect weight. And I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy, and I've been working with the species for 40 years. My background is carnivore biology, and we are a 501c3 federal nonprofit. And our mission is to teach the world about why wolves are such interesting, important animals that we want on the landscape. And you've probably seen your dogs do this behavior, scraping. In wolves, it's a territorial behavior, and same as peeing with his leg up. With dogs, it's more about saying, I was here. With wolves, it's more about saying no trespassing. And you can see the difference in the intensity here. Like, look at the size of the mark. So that behavior. Let's stay up here, Nick. Come on, this way. I don't know, we're struggling with the fucking stream. It's super frustrating. I'm not sure what the fuck, but I'm about to quit AT&T after years of using AT&T, more than 20 years. And I'm just about done with it. The fact I can't live stream now, I've live streamed for a decade, is just off the charts fucking frustrating. It's working, sort of. I don't know. I right now I got 2 bars in a place where I'm like line of sight from a stupid tower. And so sorry, it's just very, very frustrating. I don't know what the deal is. Like, this is prime area where I usually live stream. So, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, this is ICNIC. He's one of 5 working wolf ambassadors here at my nonprofit. He's pretty much your typical Canadian timber wolf. He likes high spots. These are kind of cool. These are actually, see this bowl here? This is where First Nations people would sit and actually grind pine bark to get the starch out. And so these are actually archaeological relics here that his foot is in. It's about the size of a football, actually, if you want to get some idea of it, or the size of ICNIC's feet, which are absolutely huge. Their front feet are bigger than their rear feet. So we'll see how long the stream lasts here, folks. Sorry about that. So I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, what's up, everybody? For those of you who are new to the channel, my background is carnivore biology. I've been specializing in wolves primarily, and some primitive breeds dogs, also coyotes and foxes and bears, but wolves are my animal that I work with the most. 40 years now of working with wolves. And this is our largest animal at the moment. He's a 6-year-old male, full grown, prime of his life right now. 6 is sort of like maximum prime condition. He's typically timid with unfamiliar people, super lovable with me and my wife, good with all our other animals. He's my nicest animal by far. And as you can see, he's kind of leading me on a little adventure here. We are up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, kind of near Lake Tahoe. Really. And he's so powerful that I have to be careful because he doesn't even notice my weight on a line. He's about 140 pounds or so right now, which puts him in the big for a wolf of his subspecies, which is the largest subspecies. He's really quite a big animal. He's about as big as they come. It's funny, I get a lot of comments from people like, oh, that's not nearly big enough to be a wolf. And I laugh, I don't know what people think wolves are or what they look like. They're not as big as Great Danes, at least not the males, or like, certain kinds of mastiffs, but they're just a whole different thing. Right, I mean, these are wild animals, right? These animals are captive born for the most part, very intensely socialized to me and my wife so that we can handle them, take them to the vet, put them on a leash, give them their medical care. They're hand fed for a huge chunk of their lives so that they're used to taking food from us. Icknick is pretty gentle with food. Some of my other animals are a bit more, got to watch your fingertips because they get excited, but he's a nice boy. So this is the same kind of wolf as you would see in Yellowstone National Park. In fact, he's pretty much indistinguishable from those animals. His lines actually come from the same source population in Canada. They tend to be sort of specialized in killing elk and bison for their food. And right now, he's actually engaged in a pretty intense scent marking behavior. He's pooping up high in a bush to put a persistent smell way up in the air there, because this is sort of core territory for us. Yes, and you were going to scoot there and really make sure, huh? He's really making sure that everybody knows he's here. The power ratio compared to a comparably sized or even a much bigger dog is it's a whole different thing. I've had a wolf take a sledgehammer that had a hickory handle out of my hand for fun and just smile at me and crush the whole handle in his teeth. It literally untwisted like a rope. I couldn't believe it. And that's one of the reasons why you'll see the rope I have him on right now is I have double XL hands. I have huge hands. And so that gives you it's thicker than my thumb. And this rope is good for less than 60 seconds if you were to get determined to break it, which is one of the reasons why in my pack I have a 16-foot, third of an inch thick, braided steel polyvinyl coated aircraft cable. And so if something goes wrong, I have to stop, or if I want to get lunch, then I hook him up to a tree or to me with the aircraft cable that he won't chew through because he's smart about not destroying his teeth. And and I'm wearing a belt. You guys can see it right here that actually he's attached to me. So that's why I can be hands-free. And because if he hit the end of this thing, going hard, it would pull out of my hands. But with it attached to me, I'm just a boat anchor. He could drag me around probably, but he's pretty good about being on a leash with me. Thank you. So the reason they're kicking the dirt is he's actually putting, so wolves and dogs have scent glands in their feet. And so he's putting his scent into the earth. And the scrape also is a visual reminder of other dogs. So dogs, when the dog is peeing on a bush like this, it's saying, hey, I was here. We call it P-mail. When a wolf is doing this, it's a no trespassing sign. Wolves are super territorial. If an unfamiliar dog runs up to him, pretty likely it won't go well. That's one of the reasons I tend to walk in places where there's unlikely to be people and dogs, and at hours where it's unlikely, like into the nighttime. That's why I got a headlamp on here. In a few minutes I'll have to click on a lamp. He's pretty focused on something. I'm not sure what. Can we go this way? Nope. So when I'm out with my animals, I let them make a lot of the route decisions at first until it's time to go home, and then I sort of take charge. And that way we tend to have more interesting hikes that are the hikes they want to take versus the hikes that people want to take. A lot of off the beaten path kind of stuff as they decide something's interesting. So if you got questions, oh yes, wolves are super emotional. No, we're not shed hunting. There's not a lot of elk or deer up where we are. Every once in a while I'll find shed antlers. I find more skeletal remains of bears and coyotes and raccoons and things like that that have died naturally typically. But it's not super common, a few a year maybe. And no, we do not have any wolves in this area. The closest wolf population where we are is about 50 miles as a crow flies. And that's a wolf family called the Diamond Peak family. But it's funny because I do see sometimes in our local next door groups people saying that they saw a wolf, and I have to inform them, no, you didn't. Unless one of mine got loose, which would not be good. That hasn't happened. So if you got questions, now is the time. And for those of you who well, there's two groups here, people that have seen this channel before and people that haven't. If you haven't, we're a nonprofit, the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're a 501c3, and our mission is to educate the world about wolves. And that's part of why I live stream on my walks here, like this one. They are much more emotionally intense than most dogs. I would say border collies tend to be really moody and emotional. Malamutes tend to be moody and emotional. But wolves have a different degree of intensity. They're just, my wife will tell you that my animals love me more than my mom does. They're more intensely competitive with each other over me than they are over each other. But yeah, they're really, really smart animals. I mean, I tell people that working with these guys, you kind of imagine you got something about as smart as a 7-year-old kid that's got a handgun. And that's sort of the way we work it. They're not inherently dangerous, but they are capable of killing big food. And so you have to be really respectful of that. And, particularly when it comes to them getting loose and getting in trouble, we're super careful. I have, Noran McGuire, I have 5 plus an Alaskan Malamute. This is Canis lupus occidentalis, which is basically your typical Canadian, British Columbian, Albertan, Yellowstone National Park type wolf. And this is the biggest subspecies. Trip, I'm so sorry. It's so hard to outlive your dogs. It's the worst. It really is the worst thing. We do everything we can to ensure super longevity. But yeah, it's very, very difficult. We lost my once in a lifetime Malamute passed away in April of 2024, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my life. I'm still not over it. We're still burning a candle for him. So, hey, Eli, great question. So it's really easy to train them to learn a trick, or we call it a cue. The difficulty is getting them to want to do it when you want them to do it. There's a saying, which is that lions may be the king of the beasts, but you don't see wolves in the circus. It's just because they're just too smart, and they just don't care about what we want. Icknick likes certain kind of treats, and if he's not distracted, he'll do stuff for those treats. But he's kind of one of those, make sure you got the treat first. He won't play if he's not 100% sure, and even then he may be like, not feeling it today. I have friends that train wolves for movies, but it's a very specialized thing, and there's a lot of limitations. Like, you know, when you see those scenes of actual wolves, like some of the stuff from Game of Thrones, for example, where the wolves are running and moving around, that whole environment is wrapped in electric fencing, so the wolves don't decide to just go where they want and not come back. So it's and we'll work with like filmmakers and stuff, but only in our controlled environment. And it really depends on the animal too. Like Icknick here is super photogenic, but he's afraid of a lot of unfamiliar people, so it's hard to do that kind of stuff with him. I have other animals that are more interested to work with people, but they have very distinct personalities, very highly individual personalities. They're like people. You know, they have complex emotional lives. Like Icknick is like the guardian of everybody else. He's super vigilant, but he's also really timid. So for those of you that are wondering, yeah, I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I know I said that before, but just in case you're just jumping on here. And yes, Icknick is one of 5 wolf ambassadors at my nonprofit. He's 6 years old. My background is carnivore biology, so I've been studying and working with wolves now for approaching 40 years. And so yeah, not my first or my 5th or my 15th animal, but he's one of my favorites because he's just got a super nice personality. We jokingly call him the nicest wolf. He's just nice. So long as you're not an unfamiliar dog, at least. Come on, can we go this way? There's like people up there somewhere. Oh, I see. We're kind of below a couple of big houses that sit up on a ridge, and they're outside doing something. Can't really tell because it's dark. Icknick's a little uneasy about it. So they're, let's see here. Who's the pack leader? So, this whole alpha thing is kind of not true. In the wild, wolf packs are all families, and the alphas are really mom and dad. But in this case, Icknick has raised all the other puppies with my oldest female, who's 15. And so the oldest female is sort of the mom to everybody, and he defers to her naturally. He really loves her the most. But everybody else kind of is under his lead and guidance. He's kind of the boss. But it's not an aggressive enforcement by any means. Wolf families are really friendly with each other. I mean, they're families and they rely on each other. So the whole idea that they're going after each other to be the top dog is not true at all. Icknick weighs about 140 pounds. And their fur, so they have very, very thick, very luxurious fur. On the top of his head and by his ears is super soft. Most of his coat, the external coat, has long guard hairs that are a little bit stiff, so not super soft, but the undercoat is incredibly soft. And when they shed it out, I collect it, and we use that to, we have people that'll make it into yarn that can be woven into the warmest stuff you've ever felt in your life. Icknick wanted to get to a high spot here. I can look down. It's pretty foggy up here right now. We're about to get a bunch of rain, and hopefully, it's crazy that we're on dry, bare ground right now. This is an exceptionally strange winter to not have a ton of snow. We usually should have a couple of feet of snow on the ground by now. I should be out here in snowshoes. But this has been a funky, weird winter. Although we're supposed to get, by next Tuesday, 20 or so inches at the lake level and up to 5 feet up high. And that would hopefully reset our winter into some better conditions. Well, Icknick is socialized. Andy's on a line with me. So, and this isn't really an established trail. It's more of a game trail. But yeah, so this is an area that we routinely go hiking. And so he's kind of just checking out places where maybe he smells an unfamiliar dog or a bear that's moved through here. So yes, I am. Blue Falcon. That is exactly what we're doing here. He's one of 5 wolf ambassador animals at my nonprofit called the Tahoe Wolf Center. We teach people about wolves. Time to turn on the headlamp, I guess. Yeah, definitely not a husky. So he respects that he's connected to me. He's not going to just take bolting off after something. If he wasn't connected to me, oh yes. I've lived in places that are very, very remote. Right now, I do not. So I'm an old mountain man. If you get a Oop, thanks for letting me know. I have huge hands, and so while I'm, walking the wolf and handling the phone, occasionally I do dumb stuff and don't even realize it. So thanks for letting me know. I did get it on mute. Sorry about that. I don't know how long I was on mute. So yes, he does look like the Minecraft wolf. I don't know if you heard me before. I've had him since he was 5 days old. If you go on my channel, you can actually scroll down and find videos of me bottle feeding him when he weighed like 4.5 pounds. So yeah, he's I call him my little baby boy, even though he's about as big as me. He's just a few pounds lighter than me. And so guys, bear with me for 1 sec here. My phone battery is starting to die on me, but what I'm going to do is grab power pack out of my backpack here. So I'm gonna set y'all down for 1 second, and we're gonna grab the power pack here. Hopefully he doesn't pull me off my feet and he gets impatient. But here's the deal. I carry everything. Usually I don't pop out a power pack to keep a stream going, but oh, it's in the other pocket. So just bear with me all for 1 second. Power pack. Extra battery. We'll see how this goes. Looks like I got the short. Boy, that power pack is heavy. When I pull it out of the pack, I put the pack on, I'm like, whoa, this pack is light. So, let's see here. It's walking by. There you guys go with that. Let's see here if I can hook this up. Sorry for the headlamp blinding you guys. It's starting to get dark here. Nick, hold still for me, buddy. I usually have a longer cable. Power pack is full charge. That's nice. Okay. Put that. You can kind of see my whole bag of tricks here. So I use a bear spray pouch for my, to hold my battery pack or my phone. Let's see here. Oh, hey, oh. We're moving here. Get this thing plugged in. And look at that, we got power. All right, we'll see how long that works for me. Let's see here. All right. Looks like I'm unmuted. So no, hey, TJ7789, I have 5 animals, including Nick, plus I have an Alaskan Malamute. Yes, the trail is used by dog owners here for sure. So we have an Alaskan Malamute who's 2 years old that he loves to death. He's her playmate for sure, but unfamiliar dogs, definitely not. Yeah, he's super territorial to them. That's one of the reasons I tend to walk kind of unpopular places and at night. A lot of the hiking I do is totally off the piste into the deep woods. We live right on national forest. Let's see. So this guy's about 140 pounds, and that's big for a wolf. So I'm catching up. So the length of my walks kind of varies. Tonight it'll be like an hour and a half or something like that. It just sort of depends. So for those of you that have never been on the channel, if you're wondering what the heck you just came up on, my background is carnivore biology, specializing in wolves. I've been working with wolves for almost 40 years. I run a nonprofit called the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're up in far northern California, kind of near Lake Tahoe. Hey, Nick, we're not going to go in there. He doesn't mind to walk in thickets. I don't really want to walk in the thicket right now. So we teach people about wolves. Nick is one of 5 ambassador wolves that we have for our project. And they all get turns going out on walks. Today is Nick's turn. And so for those that are kind of curious, like size comparison, so he's sort of shaped like a giant Alaskan Malamute, but Alaskan Malamutes can get super huge, especially the ones that are sort of purpose bred to be bigger. But pound for pound, there is just nothing like a wolf in terms of strength, speed, agility, how physically tough they are. And their jaw strength is completely different than a dog. Even the biggest, most powerful dogs don't have even half the power in their mouths of a wolf. and the size of their teeth. They have great big teeth. But wolves are not inherently aggressive to people at all. They're actually very timid around people. Icknick is kind of a big scaredy cat with unfamiliar people. Yeah, let's talk about the alpha wolf thing. That's one of my favorite questions. I actually just did a TEDx talk about the whole alpha wolf myth. So here's the deal. Wolf packs are families. They are always families. And that means that the alphas, the animals we typically would call the alphas, are the breeding pair or mom and dad. And just like in our human families, mom and dad are sort of in charge. And if you're like most families, mom is in charge. Dad just thinks he's in charge. Because we all know that when mom is pissed, shit gets real in a hurry. In wolf packs, it's kind of the same. The females aren't as big as the males, but the females tend to be the most important animals in the wolf pack, and they run the show. And so even though Icknick is by far bigger than his female counterpart, whose name is Akutak is very old. She's almost 15, but it doesn't matter. Akutak is definitely the boss. He defers to her. You're really dragging me up this. It's like walking me up this gully. He just wants some old dried grass. It's kind of the end of the grass for the summer, and the wolves like to sample grass just as like a treat. They can't really digest it, but it's good to clean their teeth and their gums and just give them a little roughage. Cooey runs the show. Oh, something startled him, but he about took me out. What's wrong, Icknick? He must have smelled something he didn't like. If he smells like unfamiliar human smell, he can kind of freak out. I'm hoping he doesn't. This is an area where bears like to overwinter, and there can be an unfortunate amount of bear poop in here, which they like to roll in. It's a bit like the queen bee theory, Danny. The breeding female makes the most important decisions in the wolf family group because she chooses where they're going to den. And the thing about wolf packs is that for the most part, they can be pretty mobile within their territory. They can move, dozens of miles in a day in pursuit of their food sources. But when they have pups, that whole dynamic changes, and they're sort of pinned down for a good couple of months. And the thing about that is that when they're pinned down, they got to be in a good spot. They got to be in a spot that has easy access to water, plentiful food. Otherwise, the family starves. Or the mom is, pinned down with the pups, and the parents have to go, the other animals have to go hunt far away. Yes, exactly, Jen. That's exactly right. Icknick, how about we go this way? Come here. Come on. So he's not a pet. Let's see here. Genevieve. I run a nonprofit that educates the world about wolves. Oh, I'm getting stuck. Here's kicked me. I've been working with him for 40 years. My background is carnivore biology, and this animal here is one of... Come on. Come on, leave it. There's bear poop there. I'm going to try to avoid him rolling in. So we're an educational facility, and he's one of 5 educational animals. 0 protective of me. No, there's no traps. Leg hold traps are not legal in California, and even if they were, the area where we are is not a place where that would be allowed. So we don't have to worry about that. Luckily, thank you. And he is on a leash right now, because if he wasn't on a leash, he would go after other dogs and stuff like that. He usually lives in a very large natural habitat, but it's very important for their intellectual enrichment to take them out on explorations. And so one of the reasons I live in the forest is so I can take them out on explorations. And so today is Icknick's turn. And also when I'm out with him, I live stream just like this so that I can educate the public just like this. So he's actually doing his job right now while getting his enrichment exercise, and we're just coming up out of the woods right now, and gonna walk back towards our place on the road here in a minute. Thank you. So he does not live inside our house. Wolves are terrible in the house. He would absolutely destroy the house. He does come in on occasion. When he was younger, he used to sometimes sleep indoors with us, but as he got older, he really prefers to sleep outdoors in his habitat with the other wolves. They're very well insulated. They do not get cold. Rain and snow does not soak through their coats at all. So yeah, they're they're designed for being outdoors, right? If you look on my channel, actually, you'll see the USDA actually had us buy dog glue dog houses for them, which is the most ridiculous thing ever, because they'll barely fit in an XL dog glue, the biggest ones they make, and they just don't care. So mostly right now they're chewing them and I throw meat in there, and they use it as their meat storage rooms, which is hilarious. I don't know, they just love to roll in stinky stuff. Yeah, so for those of you that have never been on the channel here, I've got a headlamp on. I mean, if I try this, you're going to get blasted with the lamp. But I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. And I've been working with and teaching people about wolves for 40 years. I studied carnivore biology, specializing in wolves in college. And Icknick is one of 5 working educational animals on my project. I've had him since he was days old. I bottle fed him, hand fed him, and he's part of my family, but not a pet. Yeah, no problem with the questions, because wolves are terrible pets, and I don't want to ever encourage people to get a pet wolf. Ever since Game of Thrones, wolf dogs have been a popular pet. And every single week, somebody calls me up and says, hey, I have a wolf dog that I just can't manage. Will you take him for me? And I cannot. That's not what we do. But I network animals every day. I'm networking somebody's wolf dog, because we made dogs for a reason. And dogs are amazing. I love dogs. I mean, the reason I love wolves so much is because they're just the purest form of the dog, right? They're the dog that evolution created, not the dog that humans created. My Alaskan Malamute is an incredibly wolf-like dog, but she's still a wonderful companion, right? She sleeps on the couch with me or in bed with me. I can take her in the car all day. She's great in the car. She won't destroy it. She won't eat the seat belts. If I take her on a walk, she doesn't want to kill every dog she sees, although she's a little spicy because of the wolves. She has bad role models. Yeah, we're in a resort town, and so yeah, there's Christmas lights right now, and everybody kind of knows about my place. They call my place the Wolf House, and we have a lot of people that drive by to see the wolves, and all the Lyft and Uber drivers want to check us out. But that's by design. It gives me a chance to come outside and do little educational talks, which I do every day. Oh my gosh, let's see here, Fayan, I couldn't see your whole name. It looks like you must be Irish, yeah? Fayan Bera, I can't do it, but yeah, okay, so this is you're on top of stuff. So you're talking about toxoplasmosis, and yes, we know that this is happening. Friends of mine, so I'm, as a scientist, I have other scientist buddies, and a friend of mine, Kira Cassidy, was the lead scientist on an amazing study that seems, as far as we can tell, to show that Toxoplasmosis gondii, which is an endemic disease in the environment, makes wolves and other mammalian species more inclined to take risks. And so being infected or exposed at least, or a carrier to Toxoplasmosis gondii, shows that the wolves that are positive for that disease tend to disperse. That's become a lone wolf temporarily, with the objective of finding your own territory, finding your own mate, and having your own pack. And so, on the one hand, it can be evolutionarily advantageous to the wolves because the wolves that found their own packs are the ones that reproduce, and therefore their direct genetics get to move forward in evolutionary terms. It can be detrimental in that dispersing is the riskiest thing a wolf can do, and there's a probability that they die as a result of dispersal. So it's a fascinating, I would call it a coevolutionary biological scenario that's absolutely fascinating in terms of the implications. We still have a lot to learn about it, but thank you so much for that amazing question. Oh, sorry, there's so many questions here. So if you had come down from the tree stand, those would have been red wolves, or it could have been a coy wolf. Probably going to run away. Yes, so what a smart audience. I love it when I get these kind of amazing, great questions. So one ask for you guys here, if you're enjoying my content. I am running a GoFundMe for myself right now, and also I hate to talk about this, but I have to a little bit. So right after Thanksgiving, I got diagnosed with cancer. It's a head and neck cancer. They tell me they're going to cure me. I got to have surgery right after the first of the year because I got a couple of lymph nodes that are cancerous. And it's going to cost a lot, and I'm going to be down for a bit, which is going to be expensive for my family. And so I'm running a GoFundMe. There's a link in my bio. Or if you want to support a nonprofit to help us with some of the costs, it's the TahoeWolfCenter.org. But, you know, I tell people I'm not going anywhere. I got wolves that are going to be around for another 15 years. Nick, can we go this way? Come on. We got to cross a little busier road right here. So if you guys want to support me here in my fight against cancer, I am actually going to be, if you look at my channel, I am sharing updates. I want people to understand about, you know, these diseases and how they're fought and how they're beaten. Yeah, we got it super early because I'm super vigilant. I was shaving him. I had a lump in my neck. Nick. He doesn't want to cross the road yet. Oh. Let me see if I can coerce him. Come on, let's cross the road right now. Come here. Come on. I have a super bright headlamp, like it's as bright as cars. So they see us. Good boy, thank you. All right. Nick, stay over here. Come on. Let's get out of the road. Thank you. So lots of paperwork, lots of permitting, lots of inspections. I have an amazing veterinarian who, in addition to her regular human, cat, dog, whatever practice, she also does exotics like tigers, lions, bears. She works for a couple of places. Can we go this way, buddy? And yeah, she's amazing. Actually, I wrote a book called The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And that book talks about how to get your animals to be good at the vet, among other things. And I even have pictures of her wearing a poison ivy costume while examining Nick because he's so used to being at the vet. Wow, people are just railing around the corner off the ski hill right now. Come on, Nick. We're really close to the ski resort. Thank you for the floating heart. Yeah, well, yeah, he's wary of the people in the cars. But the people just fly up this road for some reason. They're mostly what happens is they get in their car after skiing all day and they're on their phones, checking their messages while they drive, which makes it sketchy. So his name means meteor or fireball in Inuktitut. It's pronounced Iknik. I also call him Pupperton. Because when he was small, he was my little Pupperton. He's not small anymore. I am not specifically a hunter. I have all the skills, but I typically am too busy with my wolves to go out and pursue wild game. I have a lot of friends that are ethical hunters, no trophies, people who hunt for food, and a bunch of those people actually provide us with a lot of extra cuts and stuff. So they really help subsidize it. Like this time of year, some of my friends actually run a really high-end butcher shop, and so all the hunters bring their kills to the butcher shop for processing and packaging, and so there's a lot of material that gets left on the floor, and those guys collect it all in barrels for me. So this time of year, my animals get to eat a huge amount of elk and deer and elk, but like our property looks like somebody's been killing people. There's so many bones right now. This is their fattest time of the year. They just really fed well this time of year. Yeah, the CWD, Danny, is a huge problem. And for those of you that aren't paying attention, Lauren Boebert of Colorado put forth a bill called the Pet and Livestock Protection Act, which was intended to strip protections from wolves through the whole nation and kill wolf recovery, period. Like put a full stop to the recovery of the species. That bill just passed the House of Representatives last week. And now it's up to the Senate to reject it. We are very concerned that the Senate will not reject it, and that means that wolves will be in the crosshairs everywhere. And the thing about this that's so nuts is that right now a disease called chronic wasting disease, you guys may have heard of zombie deer disease. So anyway, this is an incurable, untreatable, predominantly unstoppable disease that affects deer and elk and potentially other wild animals. It can also potentially get into domestic livestock like beef and cattle. Friends of mine who study this disease say it's only a matter of time. And there's evidence that humans can get it by eating infected meat. And the only thing we know that stops it is wolves who can sense an animal is infected far earlier than they are symptomatic and take those animals out of the food supply. And wolves do not get this disease. And so if we kill wolf recovery, that disease will spread unchecked until it wipes out all of our big herds. There's just no stopping it. Animals that are infected poop out the infective, they're called prions, they're misfolded proteins. Those prions get in the soil. They grow in the grass. Other animals eat the infected grass and get infected themselves. It's almost like a disease made up in a movie. It is a disease that kind of came to be in a lab. In the 60s, they were looking at a similar disease in sheep, and they intentionally infected deer with it to see what would happen. And then those deer got loose. And so from one lab in Colorado near Fort Collins in the 60s, that disease is now coast to coast, and it's spreading like a fire. But it's a fire we can't put out. Only wolves can put it out. And Lauren Boebert, who has to be the stupidest person to ever be elected to a position of such power. It's her only accomplishment will be to destroy the industries, the multi-billion-dollar livestock industry. If this gets in the livestock, domestic livestock, it's over for the industry. They will not be able to stop it. There's no way to treat it. They can't kill their way out of it because animals won't test positive or be symptomatic until, sorry, we got some people walking up here. Nick's a little scared. We're going to have to take he's going to hop up this wall, go around this building. All right, you're okay. This is how Tim it is. So he just saw people walking with with headlamps. That's it. And suddenly I'm climbing a cliff because he doesn't want to be anywhere near him. That's how timid he is. And he's a huge animal. Hey, don't drag me over, okay? Let's just wait right here. They're going to go by. You're cool. Let's just wait. He got very stressed. Here, can you, oh my God, he's just straight up climbing a cliff. It doesn't look that big when you're on the camera here, but he's literally on a cliff. Those people, see, they don't even care about you. Just people walking up the road, and he's like, nope. And that's, he's a wolf that's never had a bad moment with a person in his life. But he recognizes who the real monsters on earth are. Right, Yambi, yeah, Palin was the worst. Hey, he just jumped off the cliff. Yes. Yeah, user 4X. Can't see all your initials there. I kind of agree. Those people deserve. But they're going to, they are going to destroy an entire industry, more than one, because once chronic wasting disease is in the food supply, we are effed. It takes, in human beings, there's a variant of it called Creutzfeldt-Jakob, which is a super rare disease. It's like a Dr. House kind of rare disease. But it takes 20 years for the symptoms to occur. Like, you can be infected, not even know it, but from the moment you're infected, you're a dead man walking. There is nothing you can do. And when you get symptomatic, you've got weeks to months at most, and it's a horrible death. It is a horrible death. Like, if I were ever to be found infected with that disease, I'd just put a gun under my chin. I would not wish it on most people. And as a guy facing a potentially fatal illness right now, I'm going to beat it, just so you know. I tell people I have wolves that are going to live another 15 years. Some of my youngest animals could live 15 years or more. And so I got to be around that whole time. Can we go this way? Come on. He's like, Nick, come on. They're not there anymore. Here. They're fine. They're not here anymore. Let's go. Come on. He's like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Come on, they're gone. Come on. Gotta coax him. Nope, he's not gonna. Let's go around this way then. Come here. Can we go this way? I just don't want to climb the cliff holding the phone and all that other stuff, can we? There's the cliff we were up. Oh, hey, come on. Come on, they're not here anymore. Come on. This is why I've attached him with a belt. Oop, he's so strong. If he doesn't want to go, like right here, I can't. I won't even try. Here, let's just walk along till we get to a space then, can we? We're like walking right under these there's some little vacation cottages over here. Here, it's wide here. Now you can see they're not here anymore. Come on, it's okay. He's reticent about walking between narrow structures where he could potentially be trapped. Come on, we got this. We got this. Good boy. So I'm very patient with my animals, obviously. Thank you. Yes, I do. I have head and neck cancer. We got it very, very early. I'm going to get surgery to get I have two nodes in my neck, lymph nodes that we know are cancerous. Right after the first year, I'm going to have surgery in San Francisco to get those popped out of me. If I'm super, super lucky, we'll find that there's no other spread, and maybe I'll get away with just surgery and keeping an eye. But more likely, I'll probably have to have radiation, which that's really hard on you. It's like almost 2 months worth of treatments. They're going to make you feel pretty bad. And then if I'm really unlucky, I'll need radiation and chemo, but we'll see. We're still waiting to find out those details. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to feeling crap or being laid up, because I'm a guy that likes to be outside with my animals, and we're going to do everything so I can keep doing that every single day, at least to the best of my ability, consistent with being safe with them. There's going to be a couple of weeks where I'm laid up. I guess the surgery on my neck isn't going to be any fun. They're not mincing any words. Like, it really hurts. Your throat is going to be really sore. So if you want to support that, there's a link to my GoFundMe. And of course, if you want to support the animals directly, TahoeWolfCenter.org takes donations. Of course, we're a nonprofit. Or, of course, you could buy my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, or buy merch in my online store. All of that gives directly to support my animal care. That's the whole deal of the fundraiser, is just to offset costs so that I can make sure that my animals are perfectly cared for the whole time. Yeah, this time, Yami, is a really scary one, because they have a provision in the bill that puts it above judicial review, which probably isn't constitutional, but it makes the fight even harder. And so if you're a U.S. citizen and you give a darn, if you were going to do any one thing for me today, even more important than a donation of any kind, would be to call your congressman, or more importantly now at this point, your senator, and tell your senator that wolf protections are crucial for the well-being of our environment and our domestic beef and wild game populations, and that a vote to delist them is a vote against science and sensibility and ethics and two huge industries, the hunting industry and the livestock industry. Both will be absolutely wiped out forever if wolves are delisted. Wolves are a cleansing species. They clean up our environment. They restore damaged ecosystems. And this senseless, stupid, I can't, the words, I mean, I'm a pretty eloquent guy. I'm obviously a pretty well-educated speaker and writer, etc. I don't have the words to describe how incredibly stupid this bill is. I don't have the words to describe how incredibly ignorant, stupid, senseless, addled, nonsensical Lauren Boebert and this bill are. It's just beyond comprehension how dumb it is. My contacts say that in the context of a standalone bill, it is not constitutional. The reason they got away with it for the delisting of wolves in the northern tier of the Rocky Mountains was because it was tied to a budget bill, and it would have been judicially difficult to unwind one part of a budget bill. This was a rider on a budget bill. And so there are definitely constitutional arguments that can be made, but it would be better if we don't have to make them and we can just defeat this at the Senate. It's going to be a close vote. That is for sure. And the wolves are even while I was meeting with my surgeons, I was making phone calls. Why is there a fiber optic cable running on the ground right there? I don't even know where the thing's going. That is weird. Huh. All right. So I'm just getting close to home now. Here, come on, Icknick. You see the eye shine of Icknick's girlfriends. Let's see, I think we're gonna go in the back of the habitat today. Since Icknick will be the only one back. Hey, what's that? Don't pick up trash. Come on. Come on. So usually you guys see me go in through the front part of our habitat because that's where our airlocks are. I only will use this is like an emergency exit over here. But I only use it if I just have a single animal like back here so I don't expose any risk. Chewy and Nepente, my dog, are on the deck. I can hear my Malamute. She's mad that she didn't get to go. Icknick. Come on. Thank you. Icknick is such a nice boy. All right. You gotta lock it up. Yeah, bear with me for 1 sec here, guys. All right. Yes, it is, Danny. It's about extractive industry. They basically, what the big companies that are astroturfing this bullshit want is that the Endangered Species Act was very smart in that it doesn't just protect the animal, it protects the habitat for the animal. And that means you can't mine, you can't log, you can't drill for oil, you can't do a lot of things. And so by restricting those activities, you guys can bear with me for a sec so I can unleash Icknick here. Icknick, come here. Oh, serious. He's such a good boy. I tell all my wolves they're my favorites, but he's one of my favorites. There he goes. So, yeah, the big and it's like the Koch brothers industries and you know, these greedy motherfucking billionaires like that. The people that rape and pillage our environment, poison our water, poison our air, steal the land from the people, kill everything that lives on it so they can get richer. Like, you know, it's just a taking. It's just a fucking taking, and it's going to cost all of us everything in the end. These fucking oligarch billionaires. Sorry for the bad language, but it's just it's in my lifetime it's gone from bad to just despicable beyond words, and we're in the end game now. Hi, I know, I'll let you loose. But yeah, we are in the end game of human survival on Earth if these guys continue to have their way. There, go see Icknick. Here's my old lady, my ancient Arctic wolf. Oh, coo-coo. Hi. Oh, you're such a grouch. So Kiwi here is our oldest animal. She'll be 15 in April. But she's white because she's Arctic. And she's the cousin of Ghost from Game of Thrones. Hi, Nepente Star. Hello. Crackle. Hi. Hi. You get a kiss from me too? Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of it for my hike today, guys. But if you want to support me, like I said, helping us out with our GoFundMe for my treatment and costs and everything goes a long way. Link for the bio. Yes, if left to the government, there won't be anything left. Our government is just, you know, owned by the billionaires right now. Yes, that's the Malamute. Thank you. Yes, it's a bad time right now. I mean, I don't know other way to put it is that our people who are supposed to represent the people um, don't represent the people. They represent corporate interests and the oligarch class. And I mean, as much as we throw down on Russia, we're not that much different anymore. We're run by a corrupt kleptocracy who are beholden to dollars and corporate interests and not to the wellness of the population or the well-being of the planet in general. And if something big doesn't break loose in a hurry, we are in that 11th hour. And I'm, the reason I do what I do is I love the planet. I love the green, verdant spaces, the rivers and the streams and all of the animals that live there. And I know that wolves are the key to keeping those systems vibrant, intact, and healthy. And even beyond that, they're just interesting, emotional, intelligent, fascinating animals that I want to persist. And that's why I'm in this fight. My wife is like, can't you just take a break? You're sick right now. And I'm like, I mean, worst case scenario, I mean, there's no guarantees in life. I mean, they're 90+% confident I'm going to be fine after some short-term misery. But, I'm going to go out, if I go down, I'm going down swinging. Like, I will go down swinging no matter what. I will fight this to the very end. And I'll keep fighting for our wolves and our planet to the very end, because that's what I've done my whole life. So, if there's any two things I could ask you for tonight is, number one, find out who your senator is if you don't know. Give them a call and say, a vote against wolves is a vote against sanity, a vote against science, a vote against the livestock and big game hunting industries, and a vote against the planet. And then secondly, if you want to support my battle against cancer, please do, either through a purchase on my store or a donation to the Tahoe Wolf Center or a gift to my GoFundMe. So that's kind of it for tonight, guys. I'm going to go inside and start getting ready to feed animals. Huh, Cooey? Cooey could be anywhere, but she likes to come see me. Don't you? I know. Cooey loves me the most. My wife will tell you that this animal here loves me than my own mother does. Doesn't she? I know. You both do, but you love me the most. She's my spiciest animal. She's ancient and she's still just spicy. Why are you so spicy, Cooey? Huh? Why? Oh, there's a little way. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much, Danny. You guys are great. I really, really appreciate it. And for those of you that are curious, so on my fight against cancer here, I'm trying not to blind y'all completely here with my headlamp, whatever. I'm detailing what's going on. I want people to know so they can learn. And if I do any other good in the world, it's to advise people. When you feel a bump in your neck, man, go get it checked out, because it could be nothing. But if it's not, best way to get through it is to catch stuff early. Like, they're telling me I'm really lucky. I've caught it really early. I had PET scans on Thursday that don't show any spread beyond like right here in my neck. And so, at the end of this, hopefully I have one more good scar and an interesting story. And I can say that in addition to all the other battles I've won, I've beaten cancer. That's my mission. I'm calling myself a future cancer survivor at this point. That's my plan. But stay tuned, because I'm going to be kind of, on a pretty regular basis talking about what we're doing, how we're doing it, how I feel. And so I can continue to educate the public. And obviously I'll continue to do my work with the wolves. And, people have asked me even, are my wolves treating me differently because maybe I smell different from cancer? So far, to the best of my ability, no. They're treating me exactly the same. But we'll see. I mean, what if, when I'm been hit with radiation, whatever, I don't know. We will find out together. So with that, I'm going to sign off for now, but stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you want to know about this. I'm also Oliver the Wolf Guy on TikTok. I'm OSTARR on Instagram. Similar updates on all, but not exactly the same, because the platforms behave differently, so I make content that's kind of different for each of them. But anyway, thank you guys. Love you all. Thank you for your support. Most importantly, for your support of wolves. And if you could do one thing, it's call your senator and say, come on, man, don't be stupid. Wolves are important. They matter for the health of the planet. And voting for Boebert's stupid bill gives an idiot a win. And we don't need any more idiots to win right now. So thank you. If I miss all you before the Christmas holidays, happy holiday. I love you all. And yeah, keep howling for the wolves. They need all the help they can get. Talk to you guys soon.